Emmanuel Acho has had some takes over his career, and I think we all have. But his take that dropped this past Monday, April 29th, I can get behind. Acho said Monday morning that the Bears will have, at worst, the third best offense in the NFC, and that's thanks to Kalea Williams. I could not agree more. He gives a great breakdown on what I'm going to jump deeper into in a moment, but if you're a fantasy football manager this upcoming year, you're going to want to take some Chicago Bears to put as your starter. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. This Bears offense is going to be special, and we don't get that often, and I'm excited to break it all down for you guys on what we truly have. Before I get into more on what this offense could be this upcoming season, if you think the Chicago Bears will have a top 3 offense in the NFC this year, make sure to smash that like button on this video to show your support, along with commenting how many yards you think Kalea Williams will throw for in his rookie season, along with hitting that subscribe button with notifications to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and content. And to be honest with you guys, I think Chicago will also have a top 3 defense this upcoming season, and I'm going to save that for another show. So quickly jumping into last year's rankings and where this team has already skyrocketed. Last year, the Chicago Bears were the 20th ranked offense with a total of 5,495 yards led by Luke Getsy, and it for sure heated up in the second half of the season. Total passing, the Bears ranked 27th with a total of 3,096 yards, which was spread out across 3 different quarterbacks. Keep that in mind, not the greatest. Total rushing, though, was ranked second with 2,399 yards. This is why Luke Getsy still has a job out in Las Vegas, and a lot of that wasn't even Justin Fields, by the way. So overall, we had a very strong running back group this past year for the Chicago Bears. We had 37 total touchdowns, which could be better, could be worse. We had 322 first downs, which could be better. Our third down conversion, though, 98 out of 238, which is a big yikes. And our sacks allowed, which was 50, which is an even bigger yikes, considering that we had quarterbacks scrambling all the time. So it could have been well into the 70s. So overall, the offense struggled this past season, and sad to say, it was actually a lot better than 2022, which we don't have to go into right now. But let's go into each player that is currently on this offense and what they could turn out to be in this upcoming season. So Kalea Williams, obviously a rookie, last year for University of Southern California, passed for 3,633 yards with a 68.6 completion percentage, a 170.1 QBR, 30 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 11 rushing touchdowns. In total, he had about 3,800 yards of offense and 41 touchdowns. He has more touchdowns than last year alone than the Chicago Bears had. So let me just rephrase that. He had more touchdowns himself, passing and running, than the Chicago Bears' entire offense had across all the players we had on the field. Very impressive. Huge upgrade at the quarterback position. The wide receiver room, where has gotten a ton of attention because obviously that helps out Kalea Williams. Let's just run through the guys that we have in their stats. So starting with Rome Odunze, last year for Washington, had over 1,600 receiving yards, 1,640 to be exact, along with 37 rushing yards, 13 receiving touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Not only that, had 51 first downs. Clearly a big addition to this offense. If you can do it there and you can do it here, man, watch out for Rome Odunze. Then you had DJ Moore in his first season as a Chicago Bears wide receiver 1, where he had a career high in 1,364 yards. Along with that, he had 21 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 8 receiving touchdowns. In total, he had 65 first downs, and the guy was absolutely fantastic considering he had barely any help. Then going to other newcomer, Keenan Allen, the 6-time Pro Bowler, had a career year last year with the Los Angeles Chargers, having over 1,243 receiving yards, again, a career high, 7 receiving touchdowns, with 6 rushing yards and 58 total first downs. Just imagine if we had Keenan Allen last year. Justin Fields might still be our quarterback, which we moved on. I'm excited for Kalea Williams, just putting it out there. But man, our offense could have been even better last year. And then Tyler Scott, who had 168 receiving yards. He had 12 first downs. Pretty impressive if you combine the entire group together. And the wide receiver room totals for this past season, depending on where they were in the league, just putting them all together, and if they can do it again this year, was 4,415 yards, which there's your 4,000-yard passer for Kalea Williams, 28 receiving touchdowns, not bad at all, and on top of it, 186 first downs. That sure as hell works for me. Did you forget I haven't even gone through the tight end room yet? And we only have 2 guys on the roster right now that we know of. We're going to probably get another guy in undrafted rookie free agency, and I'm pumped about it. So last year, Cole Kmet had a career year with the Chicago Bears with 719 receiving yards, along with 6 receiving touchdowns and 38 first downs. Newcomer Gerald Everett, coming from the Los Angeles Chargers, as well had 411 receiving yards with 3 receiving touchdowns and 25 first downs. So just 2 guys. Again, usually they have 3, but just 2 guys on our roster right now from the tight end position add up to over 1,130 receiving yards, 9 receiving touchdowns, and 63 first downs. So Kalea Williams' passing targets altogether, tight ends and wide receivers, had over 5,545 receiving yards together last season, along with 37 total touchdowns and 249 first downs. Hot dog, that's a feeling that we haven't had as Bears fans literally ever. And I haven't even gotten to the running backs yet, guys. We already have over 5,000 yards of offense. We have almost more than we had in all of 2023 just from our receivers. In the running back room, I'd be scared if I was an opposing defense. So our new running back 1, DeAndre Swift, last year with the Philadelphia Eagles had his first 1,000-yard rushing season with 1,049 rushing yards, a career high, along with 214 receiving yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and 58 first downs. Very, very impressive for a guy that wasn't even on the field all the time and had to deal with an offense with the tush push. Then Kahlil Herbert, who missed 5 games last year, still put up super respectable stats for the Chicago Bears with 611 rushing yards, 134 receiving yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and 34 first downs. Just imagine if he played the entire season. And then last year, rookie Rashawn Johnson had a pretty solid year and was a solid dual threat out of the backfield, 352 rushing yards, along with 209 receiving yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 0 receiving, and 22 first downs. So your total offense from a running back's perspective was 2,569 yards, along with 11 touchdowns and 114 first downs. So now put that all together. Let's put our calculators together. If you put the receivers and the running backs together, they had 8,114 yards of offense, along with 48 total touchdowns and 363 first downs. Holy crap. Copy and paste. I don't care if it's a replay. That would be the most fun ever as a Bears fan watching the offense. And obviously, this all factors on the guys in the trenches. And right now, it looks like our starters are pretty much set in place. Right tackle will be Darnell Wright, who had a great rookie season. Right guard will be Nate Davis, who hopefully is going to have a redemption tour. When he did play, was a solid player, but unfortunately, due to unfortunate circumstances off the field and injuries, he was out for a bit. Then you have new center Ryan Bates that we just brought in, who could be a solid piece up the middle. Left guard Tevin Jenkins, who honestly, if this guy can stay healthy, will be a Pro Bowler and should have been one last year. And then right now at the moment, it depends on how they do this left tackle thing, is Braxton Jones, another solid average left tackle. I'm going to run through the offensive line unit later. But overall, guys, what a turnaround. And that's without even stepping onto a practice field. That's without Shane Waldron's fantastic offensive game plan that we're all hoping it ends up being, and the new culture. Guys, this is going to be so much fun to watch. The Bears could have an 8,000-yard offense. I know the NFL is different, but just imagine if that does happen. Put your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you, as always, for tuning this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get to 16,000 over the next couple of weeks. But with that, thank you, as always, for tuning this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Zick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.